أغمض عينيك وتذكر أغمض عينيك وتذكر تسبيحا حلوا كالعنبر.
Assalamu alaikum. No, we need to wake up. It's hot, you know. It took me an hour and a half to get here. May Allah reward you. I don't know how you live here. It's so hard to move from point A to point B actually, right? How many miles we drove?
We drove about 20 miles.
That's it?
Yeah, it's the traffic.
20 miles, I will be in 15 minutes. That's why it felt so long. La ilaha illallah, may Allah help you. Really? It's a lot of time. I hope you use your time in the car wisely. I actually reviewed my Quran. I was like, all the time, I was like, alhamdulillah. But it is stressful to drive here, right? And you all drive, I'm assuming, everybody? You use the tube or no? You don't use the under? Why? No, I'm just this for me, just to learn.
I think if you're working, then
Yeah.
you tend to, if you're working in central London or
Yeah.
you know, if you need to go for work, then it's public transport. I think if you're not working, then
So
it's
drive.
to the car.
May Allah reward you. Yeah, really, it's tough to live here. Yes.
Most of the stations are underground, are quite far, so in the time that you take
To get to the underground, you will get there? Okay, alhamdulillah. But I guess you're used to it, and that's something teaches us all. Related to what we're going to talk about is when you get used to something, it's natural, right? When do you feel it is an issue? When someone comes from outside, right? Like I'm sure if you come and visit America, you will say, no public transportation? People don't walk on the streets? What do you do? Literally, we don't walk on the streets. I was like enjoying every moment. It's like everybody is out. In the States, if this is a good weather, everybody is in the park. It's one park, and then you have to drive to the park, and then you will see human beings. But people just like walk on the streets. People will look at you as like, why you're walking? So subhanallah, it's the land of Allah and everything is different. So jazakumullah khair for inviting me. I have to say this, from last trip, how many of you were here the last time I was here? Yeah, from last time I was here, definitely the Norbury Masjid left the impression on me. I don't know why, it was something very special. I think the date was Sunday morning, if you remember. I normally have very bad memory, but this I will not forget. It was a Sunday morning. It was the usual gloomy, rainy day of London. And it was cold actually, and this room was full, and I came back to America and I said, I am extremely impressed with the ladies. I told them actually, the ladies of England are way ahead of you. You still need a lot of work. No, really, to come at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, right, to listen to someone most of you don't know, that tells me only one thing, you want to learn. Why else? I mean, Sunday you could be home sleeping, little, or doing anything else. So alhamdulillah, may Allah keep you, and then may Allah reward. The sister sent me the recording, it was very nice also. So alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This is good, may Allah keep you this way. And I have to say this, and you really have to take this seriously. It is much easier as a Muslim to live in this country than anywhere else in the world. What is the problem wearing abaya here? Everybody wears abaya. I was looking around, I was like, how many ladies I've seen wearing abaya in the street? I don't know. You probably were driving, not paying attention, but I was paying really good attention because that's something for me. In the States, to wear a abaya, you will get the looks. Still, we do it, alhamdulillah, but it's not as easy as here, let alone being a woman who wears hijab. So take this advantage. Be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before He takes it away. Yeah, remember this, don't complain. The Muslim community in England, in London at least, what I saw so far, it's way ahead of probably other places, way ahead than Jeddah, way ahead than Jeddah. You would be very surprised, because that's where I lived and studied. And the sister here was just telling me, it's the same Quran school I went to, and the same sheikha who taught me was her teacher. So sometimes you think you live in a Muslim country. Believe me, sometimes living in the West is much better, much easier. I wouldn't say better, but it's much easier to be a Muslim. SubhanAllah, so especially some of you and the youth of you. So I was asked to talk about Ramadan. Let me first know where I will direct, because I gave a 6-hour seminar last week and we have only 2 hours. So I need to know which is more needed for you ladies. Is it the external part of Siyam or the internal part of Siyam? They always call it inner dimension and external dimension of fasting. Which one you need? The inner, good. So you all know. Okay, I'm going to test you before I start. So what is the 2 arkan of Siyam? What's the 2 pillars of Siyam? If you don't do it, your Siyam is invalid. You did not fast. There's only two. Niyyah. It's two words. And niyyah and then another word in Arabic. Huh? Bismillah. And niyyah and what do you do? No, suhoor is a sunnah. Yeah, al-imsak. You stop eating and drinking. I mean, that's what you do. Hello, right? Yeah, don't think of something as like, oh, it's coming from the moon. It's something the usual, right? So number one, you have to have a niyyah. I'm going to go quickly through the external. It doesn't hurt to remind, right? ذكر فإن الذكرى تنفع المؤمنين. So number one is niyyah. You have to have the niyyah. You don't have to say, but internally, the reason you are not eating and you're not drinking, and for the married ladies, there's no relationship, not because I want to lose weight, not because I don't feel like it, not because I'm not hungry. That's not fasting. Fasting is because it's for Allah only. Okay? And in Ramadan, there's another adding point you add to it is you have to, they call it tabiyyut niyyah. You have to make the intention in the night before the day comes in. So either you do one niyyah for the whole month of Ramadan, or you're going to do it every day. Make it simple. The fact you are getting up for suhoor, that's your niyyah. Why you're getting up for suhoor? Normally you don't eat at 4 o'clock. Oh, here it's, may Allah help you. 3:40 this morning is like, Ya Rabbi, Fajr, 3:40. So by Ramadan it will be 2 o'clock. So when do you sleep? I don't think you sleep. It's from Taraweeh. That's what one of the sisters was telling me yesterday. From Taraweeh to suhoor. I'm going to go back and tell the ladies, don't complain there, because this is much tougher. May Allah give you the reward. So two things. Number one, Arkanul Siyam, they say it in any fiqh book, simple book, or the detailed book, that's what they tell you. It's two only. You have to make a niyyah, and in any action of Islam, niyyah is number one, including the, of course, salah, when you go to Hajj, when you pay the money for zakah. You have to tell yourself why you are doing it, right? And the number two is you refrain from food and drink and relationship, marital relationship, from dawn to dust. Easy. طيب. How do I know Ramadan is coming? How do you know? Yeah, how do you know month is started? Okay, so two ways. Okay, again, very simple, very easy. Two ways. Either I am going to be seeing the moon. صوموا لرؤيته وأفطروا لرؤيته. Fast when you see it and break your fast when you see it, meaning the beginning of the month and the end of the month. That's easy. Or the other way is, in England probably that's very common, no sun, I can't see because it's always cloudy. So what do? Sha'ban, the month we are here, finish it 30 days. فَأَكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةِ, they call it. Finish the 30 days. Easy. You and me, neither we're going to go out and look at the moon, right? So what do you normally do? Fight between each other. My mom will fast today and I'm going to fast tomorrow. No. What do? What you should do. Huh? So you come out of all this disagreement, the huge fiasco every year we go through.
30 days.
No. Don't be the mufti. You're not the mufti. You follow your local masjid. The masjid you come. This is how I tell myself, and I tell the sisters. The masjid, I go and pray. The masjid, when I die, if I die in my city, they will bring my body and pray. That's what I follow. If they are wrong, Allah will take them accountable. If they are right, may Allah reward them. And I don't have a reason to assume they are wrong. You know what I'm saying? Always have the good intention about the others. They are doing their best. And that's what they follow. And it's all valid opinion. It's all. Some people say, absolutely we follow the moon sighting. And if we didn't see it, we're going to go and do the 30 day of Sha'ban. Some people says, no, we live in the 21st century, we're going to go by calculation. The best opinion I have seen when they combine this to both. So you still have the sunnah and you get advantage of the technology. So if the technology say, no way you can see the moon, most of the scholars tells you the look will be doubtful. You know what I'm saying? If technology says you can see it, then we will wait till someone see it. And then you combine them both. وخلصنا. Don't worry about this. I never worried about this. Whatever, I turned the day before. When I was living in Jeddah, whatever the Mecca people will say, Alhamdulillah, I follow it. And now I moved back to America, wherever my local masjid will say, tomorrow is Ramadan, done. My issue, your focus should not be when it starts and ends. It should be on how. Am I doing it the way Allah wants? Or I am doing it like everybody else? I'm just hungry and thirsty, I'm that tired, and I'm in a bad mood, and no patient, and I'm getting upset with everybody because I'm waiting when I'm gonna eat. So don't worry about that detail. That's number one. Number two, quickly, what will break your fast? What will make your fast invalid? Eating and drinking, you have to add one word to it. Intentionally. Intentionally. How about if you forgot and you drank water? Alhamdulillah, exactly. So and that happens a lot. I remember I was probably your age. I still remember I was 10 or 11 when I fasted. I was at school and then I drank. And I was like, oh God. And then everyone tells me, don't worry, Allah has fed you and Allah has given you the drink. Continue your fasting. So eating and drinking intentionally, not forgetfully, intentionally. That's number one. Number two, what will break my fast? I'm sorry? Oh, it will break the fast? Most of our fast will be gone this way then. No. Alhamdulillah. I'm talking about externally. Internally, you are close. But I'm talking about external, fiqh. Like, think of it when I'm praying. What will nullify my salah? This is how I'm talking about. So what will nullify the fasting? If intentionally, actually no, marital relationship, there is no forgetfulness, right? So marital relationship, without details because we have different ages here. Okay, what else? Huh? Exactly. If you start your period, you start your menstruation, even if it is 2 minutes before iftar, and don't cry. And yeah, that's how it is, right? Oh no, it's only 2 minutes. I was like, I'm sorry. If it's 30 seconds, that's not my rules. This is Allah's rule. And all fasting is about, and this is what we're going to discuss inshallah, is about submission to Allah's will. Because you and me, and I'm assuming everybody in this room, mashallah, highly educated. Why it is, for example, 3:40 and not 3:45 I can hold my fasting? Why? Why I cannot eat if it is 8, and if it is 8:05 I can eat? Why? Doesn't make sense if I'm using only my brain. The idea is submit to the will of Allah. That's what all fasting teaches you and me. Just submit. So when the woman starts crying, I said, are you fasting to Allah or you're fasting for somebody else? But it's Ramadan. I was like, I know. It's the month of Allah. But Allah said so. Fast if you don't have your period. And break or don't fast when you have your period. My job is to obey Allah here and here. I don't get sad if I'm eating. And I don't get sad when I am eating. He said so. Did you get the point? Teach yourself this. This is how you will come out of the month of Ramadan different. Otherwise, it's the same routine. So if the woman has her period, what else? Nullify the fasting. You have to make it up. Naam? Again, yes, but vomiting intentionally. Intentionally. Because if you vomit unintentionally, it does not break your fast. Alhamdulillah. But if intentionally you break your fast. Good. What about if you went to the hospital and they put an IV fluid in you? So anything that enters the body that is a form of a feed or a food to the body, it breaks the fast. You need to know this principle. Then the rest of the questions will be, is the inhaler? Remember this. Anything enters the body that is a kind of a food or nourishment to the body will break the fast. So IV fluid, IV IV, for example, vitamins. Okay, anything, or even IM vitamins. Anything that is nourishing to the body. Okay, what else?
What about if they're taking blood?
If taking blood, what is blood? It's a form of nourishment.
If they're taking it.
Yeah, so they have a blood transfer.
Yeah, have the blood test.
Yeah. Oh no, you said blood. Blood is blood transfusion to me. I'm a physician now. No, if you're taking a blood test, nope. Is it a nourishment? This is why you need to know the principles, and easily you can apply. I'll give you a schedule with everything. Yeah. You can give the blood if it doesn't affect you. If it doesn't affect you, because sometimes people get weak. And I highly Not recommended in this day and age, not day and age, in this time of the year in Britain, because you fast, I was calculating yesterday, is about 20 hours. So your body will get affected unless it's necessary. Meaning you are the only one who's O negative and someone is dying and there's no O negative, you're the only one. Absolutely, I'll go and give blood and I'll see how it will. If I fainted, khalas, I'll break my fast and I regard myself as sick person that day. And I'll make it up later. You know what I'm saying? And don't be too rigid. Too rigid is a problem. And too lenient. You know, I'm not going to say Allah is Ghafoor Rahim all the time. And Allah is Shadidul Iqab all the time. No, this is not the deen. The deen is always there is circumstances. There is situation. What else will nullify your fasting?
What about hijama?
There's two opinions about it. The majority of the opinion says it does not. The Hanbali school said it does. So I recommend stay away from it during the day to get out of the different opinion. Yani it's not something have to do it after the fasting. Yani after you break. Anything you can do within the night, to especially different opinions, do it there better. I mean, hijama is not something for sure. It's not like my blood pressure medication. You know what I am saying? And even the blood pressure medication, I always tell the patients, take it either in the suhoor or take it after you break your fast. Nothing has to do. What else will break your fast? Oh. Alhamdulillah, you said it. Of course it breaks your fast. It's actually haram. Fasting is haram. That everybody now is agreed on it. Because it's a harmful thing to the body. It harms the body. There's no doubt about it harms the body. Absolutely, it breaks the fast. SubhanAllah. And you wonder when people tell you, I can't quit smoking. I always ask them, what do you do in Ramadan? Oh, Ramadan is different. It's not different. It's you are different. When you have the will and you want to obey Allah, you can do it. And when you are weak and you are not focused on, I don't want to say you don't want to obey Allah, but you're not focused on obeying Allah, you cannot do it. That's a good lesson for all of us. What else breaks the fast? What's wrong with the ears? I'm sorry? Why? Oh, I'm glad I'm saying this. Now I'm hearing all this ma anzalallahu bihi min sultan, as we say. Okay, of course. Okay, I have this. Unfortunately, the slides didn't work, subhanAllah. I have this schedule, which everything that does not break the fast. So I'm going to read it for you. Okay, number 1, eye drops. It's okay. Eye drops. Okay, dental work. You need to go to your dentist. Need to. Okay, no problem with that. Skin cream, ointment, sun block, whatever, that's all fine. Okay, under the tongue medication. Somebody has a heart attack and they put aspirin under his tongue. That's fine, he didn't break his fast. Under the tongue, didn't swallow it. Under the tongue. Mouth gargles are fine, but don't overdo it. No, really. I mean, you're not going to do it intentionally, but be aware. Be cautious. Okay? Cardiac cath, for example. Okay, cardiac cath. If somebody takes to surgery, will surgery break the fast? That's what I was trying to wait for you to tell me. It depends. If they're giving them general anesthesia, in that state, they are not mukallaf. So the fast is not there. But most of the surgeries, they will give them IV fluid. So the IV fluid break the fast. So any surgery you don't have to do in Ramadan, postponed. If it's an emergency or that you have to do it, you have to do it. طيب, vaginal exam. That's a very common question I get. Vaginal exam. Yes or no? It does not nullify your fasting. Absolutely. It has nothing to do with fasting. What did we say? It's something beneficial gets in the body. Vaginal exam. Or speculum. Or endoscopies. Anything that I am, for medicine, that I am doing it without IV fluid, without nourishment, it is absolutely fine. Biopsies, oxygen therapy, urinary catheter, and we said that's unintentional vomiting. So I hope this, I'm sorry? Inhalers, it does not, it's not a food. Nose drops, you have to just to be careful not to swallow it. You have to be careful not to swallow it. So what I recommend to patients, especially if you have allergies, for example, and you take your inhalers, either take it suhoor and futur, that's the best. But if you had to, put your head lower, so when you push it in, it doesn't come back. Okay? And then the rest you can take it out. So it does not. Mainly is introducing nourishment to the mouth. Putting something, nourishment into my body, whether through the mouth or through the IV or IM. Any question about this? Yes.
Can I just double check? So with insulin-dependent diabetics, then is that also?
The insulin-dependent diabetic is a very good question. It's usually, this is what I tell my patients. If it does not affect your blood sugar, and you take the insulin twice daily, so you take it in the morning, you eat and take it, but with the 20 hours fasting in Britain, I will doubt it. And when I tell patients, I say, listen, first day, tawakkali ala Allah, because this is Ramadan and this is obligation. Everybody feels they want to do it. And check your blood pressures. If your blood pressures are over the moon, as we say, then absolutely you break your fast. Because this deen does not encourage or allow harm. And anything will bring harm, I shouldn't do it. So if I am not taking my insulin and my blood sugar is 400, or I'm taking my insulin in the morning and I'm taking suhoor and I didn't eat a lot, and then by 6 or 8 I'm hypoglycemic, then this is not, you should not. Most of the time I will say it's difficult to control. In insulin, medications is easier, diet is easier, but the insulin, it may be difficult. So I will be cautious. I will be look at it this way. Again, your aim is to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And part of the obedience to Allah, please understand this, ladies, because this concept in deen we are missing. The obedience to Allah is, again, the way He wants, not the way I want. And He told me not to harm my body. He told me this, right? So if I am harming my body because I want to obey Him, I am not obeying Him. I am, in fact, disobeying Him. So if you have a severe headache, and some ladies, especially the first days, who have migraine, they get severe headache. That's why I always say, train yourself for the fast. Don't make Ramadan day 1 is the first day you fast this year. It's going to be tough that day. So if you get migraine and you are vomiting, and this is 12 o'clock, I'm not saying it's 8 or 9, 12 o'clock, and you're severe headache, you break your fast. Allah said this. You regard as sick person that day and make it up later. Don't torture yourself. Again, torturing the body is not something pleasing to Allah. Okay? Any other question about the external? Because I want to spend more time on the internal. Any question about the external? You all know it? Alhamdulillah. So I can test you? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. طيب. Let's start with the beginning. What does the word fasting mean? ما معنى الصوم? How many of you speak Arabic here? Arabic. 1. It. شوية. Where is the شوية? The شوية. Okay. شوية برضو. Little. شوية is little. It's a very common slang word, says in Jeddah. شوية. Okay. Can you ladies come a little bit to the front, so the ladies who are joining us now, they have a place. May Allah reward you all. Come closer. I'll ask anybody. Close or far. Don't worry. طيب. So what does the word fasting mean? Think of it.
Does the word mean to burn?
You're right, but not fasting. You're close. You studied this, but you're probably just mixing up. Not the word fasting mean burn. Abstain, exactly. Abstain. The word بالعربي الصوم الإمساك, to abstain or to actually withhold, to stay still. And I'll give you examples where the same word is used, so you will learn. So to abstain, withhold, stand still, all means صوم. It's originally in the Arab language, in the Arabic language, is not used originally for the dini, for the Islamic word. It's actually used for anything that will stand still. For example, they say صامت الشمس. The sun is in a state of fasting. So the sun is not eating? No. And I'll tell you what. They say صامت الخيل. The horses is fasting. What is he doing? We'll see this. They say صامت الريح. The wind is fasting. So all these, if you read the root of the word, and that's why I asked who knows Arabic, and then you look at it, this is very common in Arabic language and in Arabic poetry. صامت الشمس, especially this one. Meaning, صامت الشمس, the sun is in a state of fasting when the sun in the middle of the day, when it is in the middle of the sky, does not move this way or that way. Stand still. That's the state. صامت الريح, when the wind suddenly stops. They say صامت الريح. So the wind was blowing and suddenly stops. They say, oops, صامت. They don't say وقفت الريح. The wind stopped. They say صامت. Did you get the point? And then the khayl, the same thing, the horses. The horse is ready to run and then suddenly stops. Doesn't move. صامت الخيل. The khayl stopped. Why I'm saying this? Because the more we know the meanings of the words, the inner meaning of the word, we will learn the inner meaning of what Allah wants from me. And this is, by the way, of any fasting, not only Ramadan. So what does Allah want from me from fasting? Whether tomorrow, some of you, inshallah, will fast Monday, or whether it is in 3 weeks if Allah give us life, and we'll be in Ramadan. What does Allah want from me? The aim, the goal, the end goal, like now I'm sitting here, my goal is to go to that door. In Ramadan, after 30 days, what Allah expects from me and you is taqwa. And since you said it, what does taqwa mean? Huge word. Humongous, I call it. So you shield yourself from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anger. Translate to language we all will understand. What does Allah want from me at day 30 of Ramadan, if Allah makes it 30 days this year, or 20 days, 29, meaning the day of Eid. That's how, now for sure Eid, Ramadan is done. What does Allah want from me on the day of Eid? I'm talking about internally after 30 days or 29 days of fasting, and He said it in Surah Al-Baqarah, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So you may attain taqwa. So you may attain piety, you may attain Allah conscious, you may attain Allah love, you will be more aware of Allah. All these words, these are the definitions. I'm talking about practice, ladies. Because unless I and you practice and translate the practice to something I see and someone else see, then I just fasted. I just ate and did not eat and drink. So what is the things I should see on myself? Please don't look at others on the day of Eid. The fasting is not about others. The fasting is about me. Me. When I'm going for Eid, and please remember this, when I go for and I'm sure everybody goes for Salah here, inshallah, right? You should actually, it's a highly recommended sunnah, including if you have your period, even if you had your period. You go and you be in the back and the ladies will pray. So the day of Eid, I am looking back, as we all say, evaluate the past. So you're going to say, let me evaluate my Ramadan. And what will tell me on the day of Eid that my fasting, by His grace, I reached لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Or I'm smelling لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, or I think I know what Allah wants from me. Give me real examples, practice. Obedience, that's also general. I want details. Because once you pay attention to the details, let me take you through it. What do you do the day of Eid? The day of Eid at 5 o'clock in the morning. You're getting ready to go for Salah, right? And you have 4 kids. And mashallah, tabarakallah, here every woman, mashallah, tabarakallah. So you have 4 children. I'm assuming 3 or 5. You have children. So you are getting ready to get your children ready and yourself ready. And probably the husband's telling you, come on in, we'll be late. Right? Come on in. Tell me, I have seen that my 30 days of fasting changed me, because this is what I normally do, and this is what now I am not doing it, or I don't feel it. Number one.
I think also a lot of people, after Ramadan, on the day of Eid,
I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about me.
I feel
Angry, frustrated.
yeah.
So if you are, number one, more calm. Actually, this is in general. The closer you are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the calmer you are. In everything, whether it is with your children, whether it is with your husband, whether it is with your colleagues, whether when you are driving, whether when it is you are stuck somewhere for 3-4 hours. If you are, the closer you are to Allah, when it's one of the names of Allah, As-salam, peace, the peace. So the closer you are to the source of the peace, you're more peaceful. So I'm going to see myself, I am much calmer with my children. I am definitely much more tolerant to my husband's needs or request on that day. But I'm talking about myself, me. Maybe you don't see it a lot in England, or at least in the beautiful ladies I met in masajid, but I'm talking about in general. What are you wearing that day? What are you wearing that day? Don't look at other people. Don't look at other people. It's not my job. You will be asked, and I will be asked. I'm not going to be asked about you. I'm going to be asked about me. When I am in front of that mirror, and it's Eid, and everyone is celebrating, am I, the way I am, pleasing to Allah? And I'm thinking of Allah before I think of anybody else, then I have the taqwa. Did you get that point? Then I have the taqwa. It's Allah conscious. What's Allah conscious mean? He's in my mind. I'm thinking of him like you, I shouldn't say like, but how we are, reality. You know, when you're invited for somewhere, anywhere, what do you normally say? Should I wear this? Maybe I'm too much because everybody will be very simple. Or no, I need to be more fancy because I think everybody will be fancy. That's not haram. But the point is you are thinking of others. Taqwa mean in everything you are doing, saying, doing, not saying, Allah is number one in this equation. So in front of the mirror, are you happy with me, Allah? This is the way you want me? When I take my children to the masjid, and I'm not looking at everybody, I'm looking at Him looking at me. That's what He wants from you and me after 30 days of fasting. The question is, how many years we've been fasting? Allah knows, it depends on our ages. Are we there yet? Yet or no? How many of us get upset because someone took their place, or because you come in and there's no place for you to pray, and you start very upset with, why didn't they give us a bigger place? Didn't they know? Who are they? Right? Who? And they're not born, were not created to serve you. Most of the people who take care of masajid are volunteers. They're not paid. Maybe the secretary is a paid job. I mean, at least that's what we have in America, and I'm sure it's the same. The more tolerant you are with people, with circumstances, with the closest people to you, with the furthest people to you, and it's everyone is the same, then you have attained the taqwa. Did you get the point? Withheld. So you're going to say samat hayfa, meaning I controlled my temper, I controlled my emotion. I'm putting Allah number one before anybody else. That's the whole idea of fasting. Unfortunately, if it is not, I don't think it's pleasing to Allah if we just tape the masajid, the woman area, I'm not talking about the men, the woman area, in Ramadan, before Taraweeh, and during Taraweeh, and after Taraweeh, and show me the taqwa. True or false? How many of us, us, like people look at us and says, oh, mashallah, she's a woman who goes to the masjid, and you come in, and you've been in that place, and someone took your place for Taraweeh. What's your response? قدر الله ما شاء فعل. It's the house of Allah. He gave me this, He will give me the other, or this is my place. I've been here since Maghrib, and we start, you know what. Or you're invited in the masjid, and then they had a lot of food, and then you came in late, and then you didn't get food. Are you going to turn and say, Alhamdulillah, may Allah reward them, they worked hard. They probably didn't think that many people will come. Allah will feed me. Or you're going to start saying, why did they even tell us to come? Didn't they know we are fasting? Did you get the point? So samat ar-rih, the wind is fasting, the sun is fasting, stand still. Control. All fasting is about control. And unfortunately, we don't. I mean, we do, but maybe we don't do it at the levels each one of us. Meaning, the first practical point, and we're going to share a lot of practical points, bi'idhnillah. The first thing you're going to do today, you're going to say the following two things. Number one is the dua that all the Sahaba used to do. And that dua is? What's the dua? They all used to do it before Ramadan. Yes, Allahumma ballighna Ramadan. Ya Allah, make me live to see Ramadan. 6 months, not a day, not a 2, not a 3 weeks. 6 months before Ramadan, they used to make this dua. This teaches me many things, but number one teaches me what? Or teaches, us what? Think with me. 6 months I'm making this dua. What does that tell me? What is Ramadan for me? What is Ramadan for me? What? Exactly, you said, translated to a word. What does that mean? When 6 months I am asking Allah to give me something, that means that thing is what? That very precious. This is something I want. Nothing else I'm thinking of. This is 6 months. 6 months. Look at us, 3 weeks from now, and we think, of course, it's going to be Ramadan. Now I'm thinking what I'm going to do, who I'm going to invite, how many invitations you already got, right? And I'm not making fun of this. This is normal. This is halal. And I'm talking to you and myself today about the inner. The inner. We need to improve. We need to go way beyond the external that everybody else does. Number one has to change is my feeling. How I look at Ramadan and how I look at the fasting. Ramadan, Shahrullah, they call it. The month of Allah. 12 months there is. Why did He choose Ramadan? He's the owner of everything, the creator of everything. He chose it. That means it is special. So number one, make this dua. And the dua not only make me live till I get to Ramadan. What does also mean? It means, Ya Allah, make me give Ramadan its due right. It's due right. You want ladies, come to the front so you don't also feel hot. There's a lot of spaces here. Alhamdulillah. And then the fans are here. Come closer. It's okay. Come closer. So in case ladies comes in, there is more, because you may get hot. So come closer here too. Yeah. طيب. So the first thing, all of you, Allahumma ballighna Ramadan. Ya Allah, make me live till I get to Ramadan. Meaning, I will see it with my own eyes. I am internally ready. I have prepared myself. I've worked on myself to feel it. Let me ask you this, and I want to see hands. How many of you, last year, if you remember, the night of Ramadan, you really felt you're blessed? You really felt you are blessed that you are in the masjid or at home, it doesn't matter, making taraweeh. That means you've seen it. If you didn't feel it, this is special, work on yourself this year. You still have about 3 weeks. It's almost 3 weeks actually. 3 weeks. The more you learn about Ramadan, the more you learn about the blessings of Ramadan, the more you feel what Ramadan will bring you and will make you do, the more you will not take it casual. So the first thing, as I said, pray to Allah to make me and you see, and it is ballighna, all of us, Ya Allah, make us. So you're making dua for everybody. But internally, you start talking to yourself, what is Ramadan? What does the word Ramadan mean? It's the name of the month, yes, but what does the word mean? Originally is Ramadan. The source, the root of the word is Ramadan. What's Ramadan mean? What is it? It's related to what you said, but it's not exactly the meaning. What does Ramadan mean? What? Say it, maybe it's right. It's okay.
Eradicate.
No. It's close to burn, but it's not burn. It's close, you all know the meaning, but what is the word itself? Like if you say word to word translation. Ramadan mean extreme heat. That's what I was telling you. You're close, it's burn. It's extreme heat. They say, again, Ramadat al-Shams. Al-Shamsu Ramda, they say. The sun is in a state of Ramadan, meaning it's very hot. Rama. The other meaning of it, which is beauty, is actually a word used to describe the rain that comes at the beginning of the fall, immediately after summer, when it is very hot. If it rains, they call it Ramadan. That rain, they call it Ramadan, because it comes and finds the earth or the land very hot. But why Allah chose Ramadan? Who called it? Allah called it in the Quran, right? Yes or no? I don't hear yes. Yes? Where? Yes, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن بينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم. البقرة, right? The cow. So Ramadan has to, like now we talked about Siyam. So the word Ramadan has to do with something internally related to fasting. Think with me. So we said it's extreme heat, or it's the rain that is going to come and find the heat. What does Ramadan mean for you and me? Deeper meaning. It is related to this, yes.
My daughter's saying it's going to be hard. It makes it harder because the sun's very hot. So that means it's going to be a hard time.
May Allah reward you. I love the young people when they think. It is, yes, but it's more than that.
Quenching your thirst.
You,
Quran.
close, alhamdulillah. Okay, not too bad. Burn what? You all said it. Yes. What does the sun do? Burn. If you start instead of in front of the sun, in the middle of the heat, it burns your skin. True or false? Right? So Ramadan, the word, the month, Allah intended it and put this down to burn my and your sins. So number one aim of this month and the act of fasting is to burn the sins. So how can I disobey Allah in Ramadan and collect more sins? Then I'm doing just again the external. So it is the extreme heat where it's going to come and burn the sins. That's one of the meaning. The other meaning is when they called the months, the name of the months is actually Ramadan was in the middle of the heat, in the middle of summer. So they called it Ramadan. Third, related to the rain. When the rain comes in and the floor or the earth or it's very hot, what does rain does to it? Cool it. So it cool me. Ramadan comes in to cool me. To cool me meaning to make me live in peace. You all feel this. Ramadan has a different, we all say, even the earth smells different in Ramadan. And this is beautiful, this is all, of course, the way the scholars look at it, is because of the admonitions and the acts of obedience we do in Ramadan, including fasting, including the prayers, the extra prayers, including the charity we give in Ramadan. That is a way for all our sins to be removed, and it will make me more aware of what Allah wants from me. I need to write this down because on the day of Eid I'm going to ask myself, did it really work? It's like a medicine you take, right? For example, diabetes. When people take insulin, what do we normally tell the patients? Check your blood sugar. Let's see if it's working. Check yourself. It should be every day. Every day when you break the fast, right? Alhamdulillah الذي ذهب الظمأ وابتلت العروق وثبت الأجر إن شاء الله. That's a dua when you break your fast. The thirst has been gone or extinguished, and the blood vessels is all full with water. وابتلت العروق وثبت الأجر, and inshallah the reward will be granted. So when I say this, that's external. Internally, I need to ask myself this. How was my fast today? How was my fast internally? Look inside you. Did it really fulfill the Ramadan? Did I really remove the sins? And if I remove the sins, then that means for sure I have not committed sins. That takes me back to reality. How many of us lose their temper in Ramadan? Get very angry with the children, with the neighbor, with whatever, with the husband, with the co-worker. And we start not only getting upset. I'm not saying we're not going to get upset. We're human beings. I'm talking about reacting to the feeling. Like if I get upset or you get upset and says, Allahumma inni sa'im, then that's a reward actually. Meaning I controlled. The wind stopped. But if I get upset and I start saying whatever not pleasing to Allah or doing not pleasing to Allah, then what is the point of this fasting? And that's what the hadith of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, the meaning of whomsoever fasted but continued to disobey Allah externally, meaning rafath, meaning saying things and doing things, Allah does not need his or her thirst or hunger. Allah doesn't want me to suffer. I look at the water and I want to drink it, Ya Allah. That's not the idea. That's not مَا يَفْعَلُ اللَّهُ بِعَذَابِكُمْ إِن شَكَرْتُمْ وَآمَنْتُمْ. In Surah An-Nisa, Allah said, what does Allah want? What will Allah get from punishing you? Meaning punishing you and me. Only thing He wants, to be grateful and to be a believer. So think of Ramadan this way, literally. And it's very nice to put it in your own words. How are you looking at Ramadan? And what do you want from Ramadan? What do you want from Ramadan? Do you want to be a better person after Ramadan? Of course. If I say now, do you want to be a better person and after Ramadan, what's the answer? What's the answer? Yes, of course. And why you're even asking? Well, then show me. Show me, not show me. Show Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Show that at least you are struggling and you're trying. The end result may be not what I want, but I tried. I really tried. For example, how many of you already now thinking of, what do I need to go and do shopping? And how many sambusa I have to do and put in the free? True or false, right? And I'm going to get my in-laws coming, and especially here, mashallah, everybody knows everyone. And then this is going to come, with these people will come, and this and that. And I'm doing all these preparations. I'm not saying this is haram. I have no proof and I have no dalil to say this. But I'm saying you're preparing. Which, okay, alhamdulillah, you have to prepare, you have to feed the children. But what are you preparing here for Ramadan? What did you prepare? ماذا أعددت لها? When one of the Sahabi or a Bedouin came to Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, and he asked him this question. And he said, when is the sa'a? When is the hour? The issue is not when. This is how he answered him. He said, ماذا أعددت لها? What did you prepare for it? Did you get the point? It's not when it is coming. Today is the first day of Ramadan or the second. What did you prepare? For example, let's talk practical. Now it's Sha'ban. What is Sha'ban supposed to do for Ramadan? It's a month of preparing, right? Who said so? It's true, but who said so? You're right. All of you are right. Bismillah. Yeah? Okay, what's the hadith? The meaning of. What did the Sayyidah Aisha said about the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam? I've never seen him more fasting in a month other than Ramadan except in Sha'ban. Why? You always have to say, why? Next month I'm gonna fast 30 days. And why do I wanna, may Allah forgive us, torture myself even 10 more days? Because it is training. So the month of Sha'ban is a month of training. So you're going to say to yourself, I have 3 weeks to train. Anybody of you run marathon? Or you know people who run marathon? What do? They train. So for me and you, Ramadan is the marathon. And I am way far from the marathon. I need to train. And the training points of Sha'ban. Number 1 is fasting. Especially if you are a person who doesn't fast in the year. Start fasting up till the 15th of Sha'ban. And after that, if you have not fasted, don't start fasting. It's not recommended because that will take a toll on you. So number 1, what else we prepare for Ramadan? Spiritually. Before that, Tawbah, repentance. Turn to Allah from now. Don't wait till day 1. Day 1, it's going to be much tougher. From now. Astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. I'm going to do my best, ladies, as much as you can. Allah will make it easy. To focus on your sins, not other human beings. You, me. What is your problem with Allah? What is my problem with Allah? Is it my salah? Is it my tongue? Is it the way I dress? Is it the way I talk? Is it I am not obedient to Allah? I'm not obedient to my husband? What is it? Write it down. Write it down. And start looking in them, turn to Allah and says, Ya Allah, I really don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't, let alone in Ramadan. I don't, help me. Astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh. You will not get to the taqwa we all talked about in Ramadan if I enter Ramadan and my heart is like this. It should be like that. White. Clean, No sins. And what is the scrubbing agent of sins? Istighfar and tawbah. You ask Allah to forgive you, and you ask Allah to give you the energy, the resolve, the himmah to not do it again. And you feel that you shouldn't do that. Don't say, you know, I'm a weak and what do you expect from me? Don't do that. Say, I should be better. I should be better. I'm weak, but Allah is capable of making me strong. So the first thing you look or now in Sha'ban, waiting for Ramadan is number one, know Ramadan. Know the value of Ramadan. And that's why 6 months they asked for dua to get to Ramadan. Number two is your tawbah. From now, make it a habit. In part of your dhikr, Astaghfirullah alladhi la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh. Ya Allah, please forgive me. You don't know any of the dua. Don't make it a big deal. Ya Allah, please forgive me. I mean it, because don't let shaitan comes to you and as we say, cut your wings. We say this very commonly, meaning they will give you the obstacle so you don't do it. Well, I don't know all these du'as, she said. Don't worry. Allah will make you learn. But just say, Ya Allah, don't you know Astaghfirullah? Who doesn't? Ya Allah, forgive me. Who doesn't? We say to people, please forgive me. What about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So tawbah, 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 and tawbah, and tawbah. And we, as one of the female, she used to say, our istighfar needs istighfar. The way we ask Allah to forgive us, it needs another istighfar, because we don't do it properly. We don't do it with feelings. We don't see ourselves as sinners. Who see herself as a sinner? We don't. We see ourselves as, what's wrong with me? Alhamdulillah. And of course, people makes you feel even more, because mashallah, tabarakallah, you memorize the Quran. Mashallah, look at your hijab. Don't do that. Don't do that. There's much, I always say this to myself, there's thousands of people before, for sure before, much better than me. I don't know about you, but I'm talking about myself. As the scholars teaches you, the caravan left us, went ahead of us. If I compare myself with the Sahaba, with the Sahabiyat, what did we do? What did we do? Yeah, 5 times a day we are praying and we're making it a big deal. So look at yourself that you have nothing, that you are going to Allah empty-handed. And Allah will fill it. The more you, we are taught this way, is knock on the door of Allah from the door of poverty. You're a beggar. You're a beggar. Ya Allah, please forgive me. Ya Allah, please forgive me. Ya Allah, make it the best Ramadan ever. So if I die or you die before we see Ramadan, Allah will answer my dua, because He knows I was sincere. I really want this Ramadan to be better, ever, ever. By knowing the value of Ramadan, by now doing a lot of istighfar and tawbah, practice the siyam so the physical fasting does not distract you. 4, what's your relationship with the Quran now? Ask yourself this question. What's your relationship with the Quran? Casual? I read it and I don't know what I'm reading. I read it once a week. I read Al-Kahf on Jumu'ah and done. Or I am a person who reads it every day. Alhamdulillah. Then in Ramadan I should not read it every day, once. In Ramadan I should 5 or 10. You see what I'm saying? You have to look at you. Where are you today? Each one in this room is different. It doesn't mean you're better or you're better. Allah knows. But I'm talking about externally, where I am with the Quran. Where I am with the Quran. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. When was Iqra revealed? Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. You all know the ayah, right? First ayah in the Quran, right? When was it revealed? When? 17th of Ramadan. 17th of Ramadan. Allah chose by His wisdom, by His majesty, chose Ramadan. And that's one of the reasons Ramadan is being absolutely honorable, honored. 17th day of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered Sayyidina Jibreel to go down and talk to Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, Iqra, and you all know the hadith, Ma ana biqari, I don't know how to read. And again, He held him very strongly. Va'abatani or ghabatani, read it in Bukhari. He held him very, very strongly. And he said he felt almost like his bones will break. And he said, read, Ma ana biqari, 3 times. 3 times. That's in Ramadan. That means Ramadan is different. So I will tell myself, ما أنا بقارئ. But then I will say, اقرأ. This is how shaitan will come to you and say, I don't know what I'm reading. I don't know anything. It's like it's too hard for me. اقرأ. That's what you tell yourself. اقرأ. بسم ربك الذي خلق. Meaning, by the name of your Lord. Allah will make you read. He will make it easy. Put this, have a relationship with the Quran. Remind me at the end, I'll share with you what did they do with the Quran in Ramadan. Ya Allah, when you read this, it was like, I'm done. I was like, I did one khatma or two, and I'm so happy. And what they did, subhanallah la illahu. So your relationship with the Quran. 5, and to me, it's actually number 1. Your relationship with people, with khalqullah, with the creation of Allah. And that includes your closest people, and the next, and the next, and the next. How do you look at people around you? Number 1 is look internally. Do you look that you are better than everybody else? You're the woman who wears hijab in her family, so you're better, and you look at them down? You cannot go to Ramadan this way. You're coming to Ramadan with a heart that is filled of kibr, of arrogance. You're not going to get out with taqwa. So your relationship, do you have people who you don't like? Quote unquote, you hate? You hate? Cannot be. The heart cannot have this in Ramadan. Cannot. You want taqwa. You want to go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you're Allah conscious. Cannot be. Let alone if they are Muslims, which probably they are. But you don't know what they did to me. It doesn't matter. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about me. With Allah. رَبَّنَا لَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Ya Allah, that's a dua. It's in Surah Al-Hashr. Ya Allah, don't make me. I shouldn't say put, He doesn't, subhanahu. I shouldn't have inside me any hatred, grudges, ill feeling toward any believer. Whatever they did to me. You don't know what my husband did. You don't know what my brother did. It doesn't matter. It's not about them. Them, Allah will take them accountable. So look in your heart and see what's in your heart today. And you have 3 weeks to work on it. Clean it. Clean it from arrogance. I am better than everybody else. Oh, I fast every Monday and Thursday. Don't do that. You're not fasting. Allah making you fast. And He can take it in a minute. Any hatred, any ujub, self-admiration. Oh, I'm the best. I look at the mirror and I think I am. Don't. Oh, I memorized the Quran. You did not memorize the Quran. Allah made you. He made it easy. He could easily strip it away from me and you. True or false? Allah is capable of everything. So look inside your heart. Put the camera. Put the microscope on your heart, and you are the only one who knows. I have no idea what's in your heart, and you have no idea what's in my heart. Go to bed tonight, and the heart is pure. If it is very difficult, Allah will make it easy. And you have 3 weeks to prepare. Prepare. Let's greet Ramadan with the clean, pure heart, not against any human being. Greet Ramadan with 2 or 3, and this is different according to your life. Special act of ibadah, of worship, that you will do it. It depends on your life. I can't tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm going to do 25 ruk'ah every night, extra. I don't know your circumstances. If you have 4 children, that's not going to be easy. But choose 2 or 3. They always teaches you, the ulama of the hearts, they say, ليكن لك خبيئة مع الله. Let it be a special, private act of obedience with Allah. Only Him, He knows. Only Him. Don't say it to any human being. Whether this is for act of forgiveness, meaning act internal, or whether this is an act of external. From now, train. This is not easy, ladies. Ramadan is in 3 weeks. It's not a switch like now we did, and then I'll switch and everything will be rosy. It is not. It's a struggle. It's a struggle because the shaitan comes right and left. Although the shayateen, the devils are chained in Ramadan, but our nufus is there. So put these, choose 1 or 2 or 3, meaning this Ramadan, since I am here, and there's probably a lot of you don't know Arabic, I am going to say to myself, every day I'm going to read I'm going to learn one ayah. Look at me. One ayah. I didn't say a page. One ayah that I am going to learn the meaning, word to word. What does it mean? And a tafsir of this ayah. I want to know what Allah is talking to me about. One ayah. By the end of Ramadan, you will learn 30 ayah, 2 pages of the Quran. What's wrong with that? And if you are sincere, He will give you not one, He will give you 100. But sincerity. I'm just giving you examples. It could be very different. Every day, I'm going to feed one hungry person. I am going to make sure I'm going to go around and look for that hungry person. Whether a Muslim or a non-Muslim. Muslim is preferred. But if there isn't, I will find. Act of goodness. Act of goodness. And don't see yourself doing it. See Allah is making it easy for you. But if I don't train myself from now to make this act of goodness, it's going to be tough in Ramadan. Young ladies, alhamdulillah, I see a lot of young girls at school. At school, be nice, super nice. They are harsh. They will bully me. It doesn't matter. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for Allah. Show Allah, as they always, the scholars teaches us and all of us. أري الله خير ما عندك. Show Allah the best you have. Show Allah the best you have. You know when you are invited somewhere and you want to be the best in everything, not only the way you dress, but even the way you behave, show Allah the best you have. You have 3 weeks to know what's the best you have. And work on it and beautify it. Beautify it. There's 3 kinds of Sawm. Do you want to take a break? Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Because 4 we will stop, inshallah, right? Yeah. There's 3 kinds of people when they fast. You ask yourself who you are. And this is, again, internal. Everyone is not eating, not drinking from sunrise, from dawn to dusk, everybody. But I'm talking about spiritually. There's 3 kinds. Now, the first one is, they call it Sawmul Awam. The fasting of the ordinary, meaning everybody. How many Muslims in the world now? Roughly speaking. 1.6 billion, right? Billion. Assume 40% of them are young and they don't fast and whatever. So I'm just to make it easy. There is a 1 billion Muslim. 1 billion Muslim. They're going to fast. Inshallah, May 15 or May 16. 1 billion. I am one of you, inshallah, if I am alive, and you are one of them. All of us, inshallah. What is the difference between you and me? All of us will not be eating, I will not be drinking, the two things I told you about. Everybody will do that. That's the Sawmul Awam. That's the general fasting. Do you want to be like everybody? If you are in class, do you want to be like everybody? No. Do you want to be A+? Of course. Let's see. What is the A and what is the A+ in fasting? So the A, or actually it's the C meaning everyone will pass, is the general fasting. I'm not eating, I'm not drinking from sunrise, from dawn to dusk. Come next, the special. Fasting of the special, they call it. Sawmul Khawas. What is that?
I know there's the fasting of the heart. I think that's the A.
Okay. So what is the fasting of the special?
I think that's when you feel that connection with Allah more, and you have no kind of no grudges towards anybody. There's forgiveness in your heart.
You're close, but little bit more. Anyone? Yes. Yeah. So fasting of your jawarih, fasting of your senses, meaning my eyes are fasting and my tongue, Allah, is fasting. My ears are fasting, my hand is fasting, and my feet are fasting. How is that? So how does my eye fast? No food? No water? Before. You do not see anything, not little, not some, at all. The eye does not see any haram. Meaning, translate, I'm not reading anything haram. I'm not watching anything haram. I am not looking for anything that's haram. when the haram comes out to me, and that's very common, you walk in the street today, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, lower your gaze immediately. Immediately you lower your gaze. When you're talking to the other gender, lower your gaze. When you are in line to pay for your grocery and you look around and you will see all these magazines with everything shaitan wants us to do, what do? Lower your gaze. So don't tell me, and please forgive me, I'm sure I don't think anybody in this room, but I'm talking in general. It's Ramadan, I just finished fasting, and I'm sipping my tea, and I turn on that TV, and I'm watching. Don't tell me لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ at the end. Did you get the point? Well, it's just a Desi series. It's just a Turkish whatever. It's nothing to do with nationality. It's what are you seeing? What your eyes are seeing. Same comes here. And this is a bigger one. What I am listening to. I'm not talking about music only or singing. When we talk to each other, what's the discussion is about?
Gossiping, backbiting.
Don't tell me gossiping and backbiting and you are fasting. And this is, alhamdulillah, Allah made me remember, Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, two women came to him, they were fasting. And I don't remember if it was Ramadan or not, but they were fasting for sure. And they said, Ya Rasulullah, we just vomited blood and flesh. Is our siyam is valid? Did you get the point? And he said, absolutely, the siyam is invalid, not because you vomited. So the meaning of is because what did you eat? People, flesh. Backbiting. Young and old. She's short, she's tall, she's mean. And that includes, and I'm looking at the young because I'm sure you look to everybody. If my teacher, she's mean, that's backbiting. That's backbiting. But she is mean, that's backbiting. Because that's what Rasul was asked. أَرَأَيْتَ إِنْ كَانَ فِيهِ. How about if it's true? She's short, she's mean. He said that's backbiting. And if it is not true, that's slander. So if she didn't give you the mark that you are looking for, that doesn't mean she's mean. Maybe I didn't do well. So what are you hearing? That's why in Ramadan, when you are talking, literally 6 cameras or 7, 5 here. You know selfie? I would love. And tape yourself. You know, all these technology we do it. And listen to what you are saying. So the ears will fast. And now come the tongue. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا التَّنْغ. Allah knows what is the tongue. The best thing to do in Ramadan, and this is a practical advice, cut down on social gatherings before social media. Don't invite people every day to your home. Be generous after Ramadan. Why I'm saying this? Because the more you are interacting with people, the chances that I am going to disobey Allah or be in a situation where Allah is being disobeyed is much higher. True or false? I'm not talking about your in-laws, I'm not talking about your mother. These are their haqq, their right. I'm talking about friends. And you don't have to answer every invitation. You don't. You don't. Make it clear to everybody that, you know what, and I always say this to my friends, Allah did not create Ramadan for gatherings. Allah created Ramadan for Quran, for me to look internally, to get closer to Allah. And you all are better than me. When I meet with people, I get weaker. Do that. Do that. Look at Ramadan as, again, special 30 days only. Once it's gone, it's gone. So fasting of the tongue. As long as I'm with people, I'm going to talk. How many of us can hold herself and not speak with people? If you don't talk, it's like, what's wrong with her? Is she depressed? So try to avoid as much as you can and turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sawmul khawas. What's your hand doing? Mothers, what are you doing with your hands? What are you doing? What are you writing? What are you texting? This is all hands. What are you doing? Because it's saying and text and writing. Where are you going? shopping. Tomorrow is Eid. This could be the 2 days is Eid, and this is the night of 29th. This could be Laylatul Qadr, and I am shopping. Where were you before that? From now. I'm not saying the Eid you have to celebrate. And the children, I grew up always with this beautiful custom that in Eid day we wear new to celebrate the Eid. Alhamdulillah. But don't buy it the night of 29th. Buy it from now. Order online now. You know what I'm saying? More important is these nights and days, the special. Sawmul Khawas. How many of us we fast the special fasting? Special fasting. Let alone the special of the special. When the heart fasts from anything but Allah, that's the special. Everything from day to evening you're thinking about Allah. Is that, Ya Allah, is that pleasing you? Should I do that? Should I not do that? It's about Allah, it's not about you. It's not about him or her. The special of the special. At least aspire to be the A+. At least make a dua. ما ذلك على الله بعزيز. Can Allah give it to me and you? Yes or no? Absolutely. Absolutely. If he really know I wanted, he knows. But if he sees in me the sincerity in getting to the special fasting, he'll give it to me. But we're not even interested. Am I right? Please forgive me. We don't even know these things. What is Ramadan for us as women in general? And I'm just going to take a break, but in a question and answer. What is Ramadan for us, usually? A month of cooking, right? The highest spending in the Muslim world is during Ramadan, right? But they are fasting. Well, we know we are fasting, but they like that. What did the best of the creation used to eat? In Ramadan or outside Ramadan? You all know it, right? No sambusa, no biryani. I'm not saying these are haram, but I'm saying this takes a lot of our time, energy, and focus. When you are tired and you stand up in Taraweeh, is it the same that you just wake up and you're fresh and you drank your water and you went for Taraweeh? Of course not. I need my heart. I have to work on my heart. Ramadan is a month of the heart. It's not the month of the outside. Work on that, ladies. Let's take a 5 minutes break so you all can stand up because you've been on the floor for a long time. Less than 5 minutes. طيب سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه تسليما كثيرا.
Earlier on today, I was saying something we really need to look at. Not being in the kitchen hours before iftar. I said, I'm not doing it. And she goes, we don't do it. I said, no, I'm not wasting my time in the kitchen.
Can this young lady do me a favor? Please. Water. Sweet. جزاك الله خير. Alaikum salam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I was just on the back.
Yes.
So I had another function, but I said to them, I'm going to come here.
Alhamdulillah. I will go back again. Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah, yes. So I might have to go because I know 4 o'clock it finishes.
Yes.
But very good because it's a good reminder. But just I wanted to ask you as well. So, twice. So now I'm thinking that there's no point to say. So usually I say, okay, at the beginning, so something that we can agree, maybe something we cut out, because the whole environment, I want to set it right.
Okay, good,
How much is maybe?
Yes,
Maybe we have more time to
yes, nice, thanks. Yes,
very nice. So he always said, yeah, you don't worry about it, then he doesn't. I have to be patient.
But he doesn't prevent you.
He didn't stop me.
Then you're fine. Then you know what?
So you think it's just stubborn?
Absolutely, and make a dua. Make a dua. As long as it's not stopping you, ni'mah.
So like you said, it's all about having a relationship with myself.
With Allah. Welcome back. It will. It's good.
But have you got something to contribute?
Yes.
Are you in London?
No, actually, I'm in America.
Oh, you got
We have an email, we have an institute, you can communicate it with the institute. I'll announce it now.
yeah, I have to go now, that's why.
Yeah, it's Jannah.
Yeah, sure. Let me
It's
take
Jannah
it.
Institute.
This year I made goals. This goal I made this year. I read Quran in Arabic.
Good.
And I read the translation. But this time I like you said exactly what my goal is to read the ayah and really understand the deep meaning.
Yes.
So any suggestion?
Jannah Institute. We have.
Okay, I don't want to go on YouTube. Sometimes you don't get the right thing, so I don't know it's the right thing. But the real spiritual meaning, you know, like the message that the talk is saying.
So you put Jannah Institute, J-A, J.
General.
J.
Oh, J.
Yeah, Jannah.
Jannah.
Yeah.
J-A-N-N.
A-H, Institute, one word, .com. And then there's a Facebook, you can follow us.
Okay.
And then we did 2 surahs, where is the inner meaning and the practical, how I apply it. We did Surah Fatir and we did Surah Al-Ankabut. You can register and you will send you all the links.
This is free?
Just, some are completely free, some are not. So we have plenty of
So
options.
if I go on here, is that where I get it?
Institute.com.
I get from there.
You get from there, and if you didn't find some, email us. Email us and
So
we'll
what's
send.
your email?
My Jannah, the same thing. The same Jannah.
This is .com
Yeah,
website.
in it, there is email us.
So
when
on
you
on
on
the
it, and the secretary will, if it is me, it will come to me right away. It will be directed
and
to
your
me.
name is
Haifa Yunus.
H.
A-I-F-A-A Yunus. Y-O-U-N-I-S.
Okay. And on Facebook I put that.
إياكم آمين. السلام عليكم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا إنك سميع مجيب الدعاء. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع وقلب لا يخشع ونفس لا تشبع ودعاء لا يسمع. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. One of the sisters just asked, so I'm going to share it with you, especially those of you who joined us late. My name is Haifa Yunus. Some of you maybe you don't know me. I'm a physician by practice, and also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted me with studying Islamic studies, alhamdulillah. So we started, and I live in America, as you call it. We call it United States, or we call it the States. And we started a small institute called Jannah Institute. And in it, alhamdulillah, if you go on the website, it's Jannah, like Jannah at the end, institute, one word, .com. You will get a lot of the lectures. And inshallah, next week, I'm having a whole day seminar in Augusta, Georgia, where we're going to tape the whole seminar. And it is all about Ramadan. And this will be sent to everybody. So you can go there and you can listen to it. And also the slides is going to be downloaded there. It's a free. Also, we have programs which is paid if you want. We did before. So the reason I'm saying this, because one lady just asked me, is about the Quran. We did 2 courses about how to live the Quran. Not only tafsir, but tafsir and how I'm going to live it in my daily life. We did Surah Fatir and we did Surah Al-Ankabut. You can also email us and then you can register, and then we'll send you all the recordings. And we had other courses, but this is specifically about the Quran. And then you can, anytime we do live lectures, if you are with us, following us on Facebook, you will get it right away. Like we did a series about the du'as that Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam did, 1 hour weekly, alhamdulillah. Now when we're going to go back, inshallah, we'll do the month of Sha'ban in detail. I just shared with you a little bit in detail. Like, how do I prepare myself for Ramadan in the month of Sha'ban every Tuesday? It's the timing, you probably will be, I don't know what time you went to bed, because we do it 7 p.m. America time, so it will be about 10:30. That's live stream, but you can go back again to it. So JannahInstitute.com, follow us on Facebook, and you will get it. In case you are all asking, if you want to contact me personally, also through the Institute, and they will send it to me, inshallah. جزاكم الله خيرا. So بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. There's a hadith of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. There's 2 hadiths related to fasting in general, but definitely we need it in Ramadan. The first one is what I'm going to share with you, and the hadith is actually in Al-Bukhari, so you can easily find it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam said, "As-siyamu junnah." Fasting is a shield. That's why some of you said the word, because it's from this hadith. As-siyamu junnah. It's a shield. So let's get one by one. Shield from what? Shield, think of it, so you can make it easy for yourself. I am wearing a shield, right? What does a shield physically do to me? From protect me from harm, right? It's simple, easy. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, in this hadith says, as-siyamu junnah. Fasting is a shield. So shield from what? Shield from hellfire, that's one. Shield from sins. Shield from the whisper of shaitan. Yes, to a certain extent. Shield. It's a shield from our desires. Protect me. Basically, protect me from me. The biggest problem ladies have, we have, not ladies in general, human beings, is honestly is not shaitan. Do you agree with me? Is it shaitan? Number one? Or it's me? My nafs? Huh? Nafs or shaitan? So shaitan has no issue? Shaitan do what? He's not trained. Shaitan works on the nafs, through the nafs. For example, for you to learn this, you don't like someone, right? It's not the issue why you don't like her. You don't like her. So she comes in. What's your nafs will say? I'm not saying salam to her, right? So what shaitan will do? You need to analyze yourself, then you know how to fight. So what does shaitan will say? You don't know. You remind you of what did she do, right? Then your good nafs is going to come and say, but forgive her. I mean, how many times you have disobeyed Allah and Allah forgave you? Then the nafs comes in, but it's too hard. Shaitan is going to say, yeah, it's very hard. So shaitan usually, and this is the psychology of a human being from a spiritual point of view, shaitan operates on what I have. So where is sawm comes in? Where is the junnah comes in? Where is the shield comes in? Number one, in Ramadan, and you all know this hadith, what happens to shayateen? صفدت الشياطين. إذا دخل Ramadan, when Ramadan comes in, shayateen are jailed. So don't blame shaitan. So I always say this, Ramadan is the litmus paper, the test that will show me and show you what is my nafs all about. So if I disobey Allah in Ramadan, it is not shaitan. Don't tell me my shaitan is very strong. It is me. It's my nafs. If I feel myself in Ramadan much more obedient to Allah, easier, I don't struggle, that means the shaitan is really strong. I need to fight shaitan. Did you get the point? Most of the time, it is me. So junnah, as-siyamu junnah, meaning when you are fasting, or let's say Ramadan, what is the possibility you will miss a salah in Ramadan? What's the possibility you miss salah in Ramadan? Very little. Yeah, we are very honest. I wouldn't say never, but I'll say very little. What is the possibility you miss Salah in Sha'ban? I'm not talking you're too tired and you overslept. I'm talking about just sitting there lazy, texting, and suddenly it's like, oh, it's Maghrib. Oops, I didn't pray Asr. What is the possibility in Ramadan you will do that? Versus outside Ramadan. So Sawmu Junnah. It's a shield. It protects you. It's like you are walking now in the street, right? And they are doing some work road, right? They're doing some work. And then you see all these big, huge, I don't know what you do here, but we put the yellow, and then we'll put right work and all the signs. These are Junnah. These are a way of protecting you not to slip, not to fall in a opening. So as-siyamu Junnah, that's number one. It should protect me, and that's why really, and I'm talking now to these special ladies I'm seeing right now, I'm assuming you are, bi-idhnillah, by Allah's grace, have worked on yourself to get close to Allah more than others. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here on a Sunday. Right? So that means the expectation from you is, your expectation from you is higher than the others. And you should not agree or accept, or it's okay that all Sha'ban comes in, I didn't fast anything. Shouldn't be. You're much better than this. Do you get my point? And I always say this, any woman, now talking about women, any woman who wears hijab properly in the West, she's absolutely a strong person. Because there's so many temptations around us. Temptations and challenges and all this. So if I can do that, what is fasting in Sha'ban? So Sawm Junnah, and it will make you stronger. What is the chances when you are fasting that you will backbite versus when you are not fasting? What is the chances you are going to be talking too much and you are fasting versus when you are not fasting? So as-sawmu junnah. It will protect you. And then he says, فَإِذَا كَانَ صَوْمُ يَوْمُ أَحَدِكُمْ. When that person is fasting, now comes in, and you need to write that down and remind yourself. فَلَا يَرْفُثْ وَلَا يَفْسُقْ. Do not. Rafath is relationship. So if you are fasting, no relationship, we know that. Second one, وَلَا يَفْسُقْ. Do not transgress the limits. And the limits of Allah, not only the limits of the culture or the limit of the country or the limits of where I am living. It's the limit of Allah. لا يفسق. Do not go way above and beyond what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like. And in this gathering, I will say, don't even get close. Don't you even get close. For example, I know for sure, if I am going to turn on that computer, I am going to be spending 2 hours on that computer. 45 minutes or 1 hour of it is a waste of time. I know myself. Each one knows. You can apply this example on something different. Then I am not going to open that computer. When I am fasting, the possibility I say yes to myself, you're not opening, is much higher. As-sawmu junnah. So that hadith teaches me, teach yourself to be of those who are usually fasting. Monday and Thursday, at least minimum 3 days a month. We still have time in Sha'ban, at least 3 days in the month. And little bit, I wouldn't say I'm expecting, and it's nice to expect high from you ladies, at least Monday and Thursdays. At least Mondays and Thursdays. It's not easy here, I know this, but there's people who fast. That means it's possible. So as-sawmu junnah, that's one. Then the test will come, and this is the hadith. وَإِنِ امْرُؤٌ شَاتَمَهُ. If a human being will be aggressive against you, say bad words, say something negative about you, which is very possible. Shatama in Arabic means you are saying something negative about me in front of me, or you're very upset with me and doing things unacceptable. فَلْيَقُلْ إِنِّي صَائِمٌ. That person who's the transgression being done against him or her, let them say one word. Allahumma inni sa'im. Ya Allah, I'm fasting. Meaning, remember the first thing we shared. Hold, control. I'm stand still. I'm not going to be like anybody else because I'm fasting. And then Allah swear by the smell of the mouth. وَلَخَلُوفُ فَمِ الصَّائِمِ أَطْيَبُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ مِنْ رِيحِ الْمِسْكِ. The smell of the mouth of the person who is fasting, much more beloved to Allah than the smell of the musk. Because when we fast, what happens? We get dry. And when we get dry, what happens? We may not smell well. Don't worry about this. You know, sometimes like, please forgive me. Don't. On the contrary, Allah loved this way more than the smell of the musk. And then He says, this is the beautiful one. And Allah says, As-siyamu li. Fasting is for me, meaning for Allah. And He's talking to you and me. يَتْرُكُ طَعَامُهُ وَشَرَابُهُ لِأَجْلِي. He leaves his food and drink for me. Who's me? Allah. Did you see? Do you see how Allah looks at you and me when we are fasting? We never look at it this way. I was like, of course it's Ramadan, I'm fasting. Allah looks at you, looks at me, looks at us and says he or she's young, she's small, she's working, she's going to school, it's 20 hours. It doesn't matter, she left it for me. And then He gives you وَالصَّوْمُ لِي وَأَنَا أَجْزِي بِهِ. Fasting is for me and I, who's I? Will reward. I will reward. What will He reward you? Al-Kareem, the generous. What will He reward? Like if someone comes to you and says, you're auntie, and you have 5 aunts, but then that aunt is very generous. And you're going to say, which one? And she will tell you, for example, Auntie Fatima. And you say, yes, wow, Auntie Fatima is coming, I am getting something. Because I know she's generous. That's a human being. What about the generous? What will He reward you and me? We don't know. We don't know. The scholar says the only act of ibadah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it's for me. Only one. He didn't say it about salah. He didn't say it about zakah. He didn't say it about hajj. He said only about fasting. Li wa ana ajzi bih. So when you get weak, and we all does, when you get weak, when I can't do it, this is especially used, this hadith, when you are in an voluntary fasting. Like you want to fast tomorrow, Monday, and the shaitan is going to come in your nafs, but I need my coffee, but I'm working, but it's a long day, I'll get headaches. You know, all these things, which is, it's there. But then one word, as-sawmu li wa ana ajzi bih. Bring this to you. And you say, Ya Allah, I'm doing it for you, make it easy. And see how Allah will make it easy. See how Allah will make it easy. As-sawmu li wa ana ajzi bih. Fasting is called half of the sabr. Patient, in general, half of it is fasting. Because fasting needs a lot of sabr. True or false? Yes or no?
Yes.
Why?
Because you're staying away from halal.
You are number one staying away from halal. What's wrong with the water? I'm fasting and I'm thirsty. But it's halal. And Allah gave it to me. But I want to drink it. Nope, you're fasting. What does this need? Sabr. Sabr. They call it sabrun ala ta'a. That you are fasting and you are impatient. You're patient because this is what pleases Allah. Then you open the magazine. And then this picture comes out. They put you the beautiful woman, wal-ayadu billah, and she looks, and then all of us start looking, and then you say, nope, I'm fasting. That needs patience. That's a sabru ala ta'a. This is sabru anil ma'asiyah. This is a fasting to stay away from the obedience of Allah. And then all the tests you go through, my stomach is hurting, I'm getting headaches, all this pain you're going through, that's sabrun ala al-bala. This is a sabr on a test that you are going through. It's all in fasting. What's the reward? What did Allah says the reward of being patient in the Quran? What did He say? No حافظة here? Allah يبارك فيكي. إنما يوفى الصابرون أجرهم بغير حساب. Verily, those who are patient and fasting, half of patient. يوفى صابرون, the ones who are constantly in a state of sabr, they will be rewarded unaccounted for. We don't know. We don't know how much. We all say 1 good deed times 10. And we all try to convince ourselves, 1 times 10. If I give you $10 or I give you $1, you say, sure, give me 10. How about unaccounted? Like when you are with your children and you want your child to do something for you, not very easy, what do you say? You do it and see what I will give you. What is the child will say? What? What is it? I said, don't worry. You know your mom. You go and do it. And then come back. And then the child start imagining. Right? And what is going to be? That's a human being. What about with Allah? This is how you have to look at fasting, ladies. Don't look at it casual. It's not casual. We are the only ummah that was specifically the fasting described in a way only for them. Only for them. And Allah described it in the Quran. True or false? What did He say? وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ. Eat and drink till you see the line between the dark or the black and the white from the Fajr, from the morning. When I was flying, coming to you guys, Allah showed me this ayah in action. I was waiting for Fajr and I was very worried I'm going to miss the Fajr, so I didn't know. So Allah woke me up and I had a window seat. So I looked around and what did I see? I took pictures actually. Inshallah, when I go back, we'll put it on the website. I've never seen this. Absolutely. You see the color in the sky because we're 37,000 feet top. And you see it was blue, black, blue, and very light color here. And then as the time, I had it at the time, comes in and you see, becomes red. And then it becomes white. La ilaha illahu. La ilaha illahu. Subhanah. I looked and it's like, Ya Allah, who are you, Ya Rabbi? What is this? This is beyond me. Even the lady next to me, non-Muslim, says, what is this? I said, I don't know. I've never seen it. And Allah showed me this time. I travel a lot, but this is the first time I see it in my life. So look at this. He chose you and me only for this. And you are leaving this for Allah. Ya Rabbi. And He knows I'm dying for this. I'm so thirsty for this. I'm dying for it. What He will give me. Look what I will share with you. And it's a very nice, I'm going to translate this in Arabic, but I will share it with you. And says the following. This is number one is the hadith. And this is extremely beautiful hadith. And related to Ramadan, and I want you to learn it because this is your goal at the end of Ramadan. Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam said, and this is actually narrated in this way, that he was getting up on the mimbar, and then in the first step he said Ameen, and the second step he said Ameen, and the third step he said Ameen. So the Sahaba says, Ya Rasulullah, we've never seen you doing this. What was the Ameen about? Ameen meaning there's a dua. Someone made a dua, and then he is saying Ameen, meaning, Ya Allah, make it happen. Ya Allah, grant. And he said the following. He said, Jibreel came to me and said the following. May the man be, it's 3 things. May the person, man or woman, may the person whom my name mentioned in front of him, alayhi salatu wasalam, and he did not or she did not send salam upon me, may be humiliated. And Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam said, Ameen. Second, and may be the man or the woman, human being, who live through Ramadan and finish Ramadan and their sins are not being forgiven, may he or she be humiliated. And he said, Ameen. And the third one, may he or she, a person who lived to see his parents in their old age, and he did not or she did not get to Jannah through them, may he or she be humiliated. And he said, Ameen. So if I go through all Ramadan, that means these are opportunities for me to be completely forgiven. And I go through all Ramadan, and then in spite of the 30 days and in spite of my fasting, and I came out not forgiven, then I am humiliated. And he made Ameen for that dua. You all know the hadith. Man sama Ramadan imanan wahtisaban ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbi. Whomsoever, again in Bukhari this one, whomsoever fasted Ramadan, all of us in this room, all the Muslims that we talked about, 1 billion. These Muslims need 2 criteria with the fasting. We all, again, everybody will fast the general fast, meaning they're not going to eat or drink from dawn to dusk. Those people who, anyone, fasted Ramadan with 2 conditions. And this is specifically about Ramadan. 2 conditions. Imanan wa ihtisaban. Fully believing in Allah, His orders, the virtues of Ramadan, that Allah will give him the reward or give her the reward. Wahtisaban, looking at Allah and saying, I want my rewards. That means you know Allah is seeing you. You know Allah will reward you. And you have no doubt. غُفِرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِهِ. Every sin before, every sin is forgiven. I need only these 2 ladies. I need the full belief in Allah. And if I have full belief in Allah, I am not going to disobey Him in Ramadan. Full belief in Allah that He's seeing me. Full belief in Allah He will reward me. Full belief in Allah He will help me to achieve what I want to achieve. Full belief in Allah He will make me make this Ramadan best ever. Full belief in Allah that He will make me hold myself the way I wanted. Full belief. All these. This is a special relationship you have to have with Allah. And full belief, or I turn to Allah and says, I fasted, I want my reward. غُفِرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِهِ. So don't be of the second one, who Rasul ﷺ said, Ameen. Don't spend your time again in talking about people, thinking about people. Cook all the time in the kitchen. I'm not saying don't cook, but I'm talking about all the time in the kitchen. Coming to the masjid and you're coming for Taraweeh, walillah alhamd, and then you come out with full of sins. Looking down at people, look at what she is wearing. She smells like the kitchen. She took my place. She doesn't know how to pray. That's not what you come for. Focus on your Quran. Ask Allah to teach you. If you see somebody next to you sobbing and crying, turn to Allah and says, what you gave her, give me. Give me. I don't have this heart. Focus on Allah and everything in Ramadan. And look at the last thing, and then I'll give you a few little bit time for question and answer. And this is one of the righteous people says the following. He summarized fasting, and I love this. He said fasting is an act of worship among the most beloved and the most honored act of worship to Allah. And now think of everything we talked about. 1. Number 2. And it is one of the best ways to get close to Allah. وَقُرْبَ مِنْ أَعْظَمِ الْقُرُبَاتِ. Really, if you are a person, I don't know you again, but if you are a person who fasts regularly, you know what I'm talking about. Absolutely, you are much closer to Allah when you are fasting, because you are going through difficulty and hardship for Him only. وَقُرْبَ مِنْ أَعْظَمِ الْقُرُبَاتِ وَهُوَ دَأْبُ الصَّالِحِينَ. It's the character of the righteous people. It's the usual habit of the righteous people. وَشِعَارُ الْمُتَّقِينَ. And it is the sign that those people of Taqwa carry. They don't fast only from one Ramadan to the other. يُزَكِّي النُّفُوس. It purifies the people, the hearts, the nafs. وَيُهَذِّبُ الْخُلْقِ. And it improves the manners and the characters. And look at this one. And it's the school of Taqwa. Fasting is a school of Taqwa. وَدَارُ الْهُدَى. And it's the sign and the house of guidance. Look at this one. مَنْ دَخَلَهُ. If you enter that house with a pure niyyah and the right way of doing it, you're going to be graduating with a degree of istiqamah. Subhanallah. You're going to be graduating with a degree of istiqamah, of righteousness. And you will be given the degree of being saved in this dunya and in the akhirah. Ya Rabbi Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by His grace, by His wisdom, by His generosity, make us live till we see Ramadan, Ya Rabbi Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us practice everything we are learning. May Allah make it easy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive and pardon and give mercy and rahmah to all of those who passed away and they will not be seeing Ramadan, including any one of us who will die before she gets to Ramadan. Look at Ramadan as the best guest will ever come to your house and give him his due right. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه تسليما كثيرا. Any questions? Yes, please. وعليكم السلام.
Ramadan was specifically for us, but the ayat was fasting was prescribed for
Yeah, but only Ramadan for us. The month of the month of Ramadan for us, and the kind of fasting we were given, no one else was given. There are people before us, they fast, but they fast differently. But our fasting is different, and Ramadan is only for us. Special month.
We can take from the people before that their fasting was like not speaking, like Zakaria alayhi salam.
No, he's talking about, he says, كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم, كتب became obligation. The fasting of Zakaria is different.
You know, what I'm saying is, we can take from that because Islam completed everything. It's complete. So we should be careful of our tongue, and we should be careful of
Sawm in general, I mean, I cannot say this because I don't have a dalil of this. I can't say Allah said fast from talk. I can't. But for Sayyidina Zakaria, Allah told him, right? قال ربي اجعل لي آية قال آيتك لا تكلم الناس 3 ليال سوية. Ya Allah, give me a sign, something I do, because you gave me a child. He said, don't talk to people for 3 days. And he used the word صوم. And the same thing, Sayyida Maryam, إني نذرت للرحمن صوما فلن أكلم اليوم إنسيا. Allah told her, when you come with the baby, with Sayyidina Isa, and you see people, tell them I'm fasting, I'm not going to talk. But for us, our fasting is not from talk. Actually, some scholars will tell you it's a bid'ah. If you're going to say, in Ramadan, I'm not going to talk to anybody, because that's not the fasting. But you're going to say, I am withholding my tongue from any disobedience to Allah, yes. But I can't say I'm not going to talk at all, I'm fasting. Where did you get this from? Do you see the point? Yeah. Yes.
So can we train our nafs in the sense, you know, you said the litmus paper to say that the whispers in Ramadan is your nafs and not your shaitan. So can we ensure until they're chained, the shayateen are chained, so that's the way to look at it and stop yourself?
Absolutely. If I cannot control my tongue in Ramadan, it's not shaitan, it's my nafs. If I cannot control the way I feel towards someone, it's not shaitan, it's my nafs. And this is why Ramadan will teach me about who I am. Or on the contrary, take it the positive way. If I feel myself in Ramadan, I am more obedient to Allah. I am more in control. I am more forgiving. That means my nafs is not the main issue. It's my shaitan. And I have to look around, where is my shaitan? Is it the human beings? Because shayateen al-insi wal-jinn. Is it people around me are making the shaitan stronger? Or the atmosphere around me? So it's a very nice way of looking and analyzing yourself. Anything else? Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. If you don't ask, that means you either understood everything or you didn't understand a thing. Yes.
You're saying that we have to stop our tongue, but if someone people around us or our family or anyone, they do backbiting.
Okay, so this is one of the challenges. It's usually family is a challenge. No, I mean it, wallahi. And it's the first challenge Allah tests us, right? Sometimes, I wouldn't say all the time, sometimes families are blessings because the family are helping you. Like if you are in a family where everybody is wearing hijab and you are the last one, Ya Allah, what are blessings they will. But let's assume it's the other way around, where everybody is backbiting and you are, and this is in Ramadan, it happens. It depends who are these people. Let's assume it's my parents. That's a really tough one. Then I'm going to try to move away or change the subject as much as you can, you know. And if you're like, can we not talk about people, it's Ramadan? You can say this in a nice way. And if they look at you and say, I'm not talking about anyone, don't say it because that's your parents. Then just you move away. But I'm talking about the examples I gave you, it's about people that we voluntarily, right? I invite people to my house so that we all backbite. Why do I do that? Or I go to respond to an invitation and I know I'm going to be weak and I know what it's going to pull me to. So you need to be very careful in Ramadan. Put all the radars on you. And be honest with yourself and ask Allah to help you. Because again, what's your goal at the end? Inshallah. The young girls, no questions at all. Has to be. What's your name, young lady? Duha? MashaAllah, well, Duha? Tabarakallah. So Duha, how old is she? 9, tabarakallah. Are you going to fast or not yet? Have you fasted last year? Did you? MashaAllah. The whole month? Yeah. How many days? Tabarakallah. May Allah reward them. So how old the children should be and Ramadan becomes obligation on them? Puberty. Beautiful. How about if there is no puberty? Delayed. 15. 1-5. So if your child is 14, because the reason I said this because last week when I did the seminar in the States, a lady come to me and she says, oh, and I said, what did you do? She says, my 11-year-old, I gave him a hard time last year and he didn't fast. I was like, why is that? I was like, he's 11. I said, okay, and is he a baligh? She said, no, very unlikely you will find an 11-year-old baligh. And girls maybe, but boys usually very unlikely. And she said, because he's 11. And I said, and? No. So learn this, ladies. Don't be too hard on the children. And then they will hate it. I'm sorry, but it's not easy these days, especially this time of the year. So don't push it on them. If 3 days in the alhamdulillah, or make it, you know, that we all did it. Half the day, you know, like they go to school, let them eat because it's school. Let them eat, comes at 12, from 12 to 6. They fast this way. You know what I'm saying? Make it easier so they love it. Don't push it on them. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Any other question or a comment? They're too quiet. I'm very surprised. Last time you were much more, I don't know what it is. It's Sunday afternoon? I don't know. Is it?
We are overwhelmed by you.
Oh,
Yeah, I realise how much work we've got to do.
yes.
Is it backbiting if you're advising your children to stay away from certain people that you know they can pick bad habits up?
Okay. There is a few exceptions, may Allah reward you. There's a few exceptions where backbiting, if I say allowed, you will all take it and alhamdulillah. There is circumstances where backbiting is allowed. And one of them is a nasiha. For example, I want a painter in my house. And I know you just painted your house. So I'm going to call you and I say, how was your painter? My haqq on you to tell me the truth. So you're going to, but don't take, that's why I'm very careful in this, but don't take it and on and on and on. Right? You're going to say, you know what, I don't recommend him. This happened to me actually a month ago when I asked one of the, one of the very respected shuyukh about something, which include a human being. The answer I got, I don't recommend it. That's it. I loved it, khalas, the answer is there, right? So if I'm telling my children, please don't spend time with these people. They are not good for you. Khalas. Why? They make you weak. Why? I would love to see you better. Yani, again, the taqwa is when you are seeing Allah, hearing you. Allah is exalted. But let's assume you are talking in front of dignitary. It's not the same when you are talking with your friend. The words you're going to use, you're going to be very careful. Same thing here. So I am fasting, but I need to advise my children. Then I'm going to use the best way, you know, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا. Allah always uses this in the Quran. Who's the best way of saying? Look at the best way of saying. And sometimes we're wrong, right? Or sometimes you say, you know what, I don't have a good feeling. I lived longer than you. I just don't have a good feeling. Be careful. But on and on and on and on. A lot of the on and on is not true. Or I'm exaggerating, especially we women. You know, like I called you thousands times. You called me only 2 times. So yeah, yani be very, very careful. Avoid all these things in Ramadan, ladies. As much as you can. Yani look at it again and again and again. Special. It's a special guest coming. I highly recommend. How many of you work? Not too many, alhamdulillah. I always recommend people to take time off in Ramadan, let alone the last 10 days. Your vacation is the last 10 days. Don't tell me, I booked my ticket, I'm going to Hawaii. Hawaii in the summer or 10 days of Ramadan, it's up to you. Choice you made. So always, and if you have the luxury of the whole month, that's alhamdulillah Rabban. Ask Allah, مَا ذَلِكَ اللَّهِ بِعَزِيزٍ. Ask Allah to make you free the whole Ramadan. Wallahi, He will give it to you. But you have to want it. But for now, if I can take time off, cook everything from today or order food, because you have a lot of ladies Alhamdulillah, it's beautiful here. And even there, where you have ladies who are living, their income is from this. Order food from them. Order food, that's her work. And like you, I go to the office, you go to school, that's her work. Now there's double, there's 3 actually. And that's one thing you do in Ramadan. Look for multiple niyas in one action. I am going to be freer. I'm going to spend much less time in the kitchen or cooking or cleaning, and washing the dishes and all this. I am helping a lady. And I'm feeding my family. خلاص. And if you contract with her for a whole month, it's maybe even less cheaper. And you gave her sustained income the whole month. What's wrong with that? So look at all the ways that it can make your Ramadan much better. And turn to Allah in dua. Allahumma farrighni li'ibadatak. Ya Allah, empty me, make me free for your act of worship. How? Don't ask me. Al-Qadir, he's all capable. He'll do it. Last one. Yes. Sure, just tell me how long it takes me to get to St. Pancras. Because here it's amazing the distances. An hour? So 4:30 I need to leave, maximum.
Yeah, if you catch the overground.
No, the beautiful lady, may Allah reward her. May Allah reward her. She was here somewhere. May Allah reward her with her baby. Ya Allah, I don't know how she drove all that. Yeah, she will take me. So I need to be there probably 5:30. So yes, if you think 4:30 we are okay? Driving, I leave early? So let's 4:15. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can. Any other question, public, that everybody can benefit from? Yes.
If you want to give nasiha,
Yes.
say something happened with people without names, then that is okay.
Did they ask you to give the nasiha?
You want to give.
Why? Very important. May Allah reward you. Allah made you say something in general.
That is a lesson, but you don't want to give their name.
Right. I exactly. Learn one thing also. Always ask yourself why I'm doing it. This is actually how they teach you even when you study Islam. It's like why and how. Why mean your niyyah and how are you following the sunnah. So why I want to give the nasiha. Children is a different story. But why? You need to look inside you. I can't say yes or no because I don't know the circumstances. Meaning, I see somebody coming in now with, for example, the baby and then dragging the baby. Why do I want to rush to her and says, don't drag your baby? I have to ask myself. Did you get my point? And put always yourself, especially in Ramadan, train. Can I not say it now? Because it may end up, are you ready to give nasiha and someone look at you and say, it's not your business? You have to be careful how you will react. Will I be able to control and say nothing? And I say, Ya Allah, I did what you told me. Amru bil ma'roof. Did you see my point? So always before you do things, always ask yourself why and expect the worst reaction. Because you don't want to ruin your sawm. Alhamdulillah, it's beautiful, you want to give nasiha. Can I do it in another time? Can I do it in an indirect way? Yani,
That was not Ramadan, but generally somebody was talking about close family members and said, I don't know them. It's better not to mention to me a relation.
that's beautiful.
The relation. So, you are taking something out of your life.
That's nice. Yeah, you come and talk to me negative about someone in front of me, and you're not asking my opinion. It's obvious when you are asking my opinion versus you are venting, right? Don't vent it in front of me because I will be asked about that. I don't want to hear that. So yeah, if somebody says this, you can say, I don't know them. I told you, I asked, literally, there was a long question was given to me, right? And I looked at it and I was like, I don't know what the best way to answer. So I forwarded the question to one of my teachers. And only one line came in. I don't recommend it. That's it. That's it. Khalas. The answer is did you see the point? It's very easy, straight to the point. So you can say, you know what? I don't know them. And people can tell you don't want to talk about it, even from your body language. Then yes, absolutely. Yeah. But I don't want to go to people and say, don't do that, don't do this, because it depends who they are, especially in the masjid, ladies. Please don't teach people how to pray salah in Ramadan. And the Taraweeh. Everybody becomes a mufti. Don't do that. Really, because you don't know. Imagine the response of that lady will be the worst. I don't know, but will you be controlled? Will you be look at her and say, please forgive me, I didn't mean it? Will you do that? Or you're going to be say, then you lost your sawm. Did you get the point? And yes, sometimes even the niyyah is good intention. But sometimes shaitan comes even through that. Be to yourself in Ramadan till you become that strong. We're still very weak, very weak. Be focus on you, and Allah will use you. He will use you, don't worry. But focus on you. Allahumma sta'amilni wa la tastabdilni. I always use this dua. Ya Allah, use me and don't replace me. It's a dua that is extrapolated from the last ayah of Surah Muhammad. وَإِن تَتَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ وَلَا يَكُونُوا أَمْثَالَكُم. You turn away from Allah, He will replace you and bring people better than you. So I always make this dua, Allah, don't replace me, use me. Use me in your khidmah, in your obedience. He'll use you. You don't know how it's going to come. And last thing I want to say is, be a person who wants to do good, khair. You come to the masjid and you see the masjid doesn't smell good. For example, it smells all biryani. For example. No, really. Instead of complaining, don't do anything. Go down, go to a grocery, buy a refreshener, come back to the masjid and do it silently. Not in front of everybody, silently. Right? You come in and every woman, the shoes, you know the shoes story, right? Put the shoes in the place. Put the shoes of the people in the place. What a reward you will get. Anyone that was supposed or about to trip in this because of these shoes, you will get the reward. That's the person who is looking at Allah, not looking at people. So choose. Be, as I always say this, be a hunter of good deeds. Hunter, looking like this. Yes.
Just very quickly.
Yes.
Should we as sisters aim to pray Tarawih in the masjid?
The $1 million
Because
question.
I usually pray at home.
The $1 million question. There is no one size fits all. Let's put it this way. It depends who are you. Number one, for the married ladies or for the unmarried with your mahram or your wali, is he okay with you going to the masjid? If he said you're not going to the masjid, your ibadah is don't go to the masjid. Don't argue. Once you argued, this is your nafs. Why do you go and I don't go? That's you. So if your husband or your father or your brother says it's up to you, whatever you want to do, look inside you. Where are you closer to Allah? A lot of the ladies will tell you when I am alone. A lot of the ladies. And a lot of the ladies will tell you, no, when I hear it, when I hear the Quran from a beautiful voice, I am much more moved. You decide. Yes, there is the hadith where is صلاة المرأة في بيتها خير من صلاتها في مسجدي هذا. The woman when she prays in her home, and especially in her musalla, it's better than praying in one narration in the Masjid al-Nabawi. But I say this, we all women spend all the time in the streets. Meaning we go out, we do shopping, we work, we are always out. When it comes to the masjid, I'm not going. So see you are. Where do you feel more? Are you distracted by people? Are you going to be looking at this woman and that woman? She's not praying well. She's not covered well. It's too crowded. It's too hot. Then don't go because you're not focused. Or on the contrary, in the house I'm distracted. The child wants this and the phone ring and look and you decide. Please, don't bring your phone to Taraweeh. And if you're going to bring it for whatever the reason, it's off. Don't look at the phone in the middle of the salah. I can't tell you how many times I see this. Then your heart is not there. And don't think of people who did it. Ask yourself, have I done it? So turn it off. Your husband or your family know you are in the masjid. Alhamdulillah, the masjid is right here. And tell them, I am going to turn it off. We'll talk to you after Taraweeh. Yes. Alaikum salam.
What would you say to someone who has a serious health condition for fasting?
Absolutely, their ibadah to Allah is not to fast. Their ibadah to Allah, it's actually in the Quran, فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضٌ أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ. If any one of you was sick, and the ulama, scholars went sickness to as simple as my finger is hurting, to any of the serious sickness, definitely if the sickness gets worse by fasting, they have to not fast. It's a sin if they fast because they are harming themselves. Now, having said that, now alhamdulillah we learned today that fasting is not about food and drink. Now this is, I hope now you got the point. So, because that applies when we get our period. It's not about food. Food is the least issue. Fast from everything else. Did you get the point? And then this is your ibadah. Your obedience is to eat and drink. Eat little, but you eat, so you don't harm your body. But fast everything else. Fast the fast of the special. Let my eyes fast, let my hand fast, let the rest of my body fast. But absolutely they shouldn't. And I always tell my patients, same thing with a pregnant lady. If the fasting is harming her or harming her baby, absolutely she's not fasting. But I wouldn't say every pregnant lady don't fast. No, people can. Try it and see how it's going to go. But serious and disease, and your especially if you're Muslim physician, because non-Muslims cannot grasp the idea of the fasting. They find it's impossible. You know this. But the Muslim physician tells you, no, you cannot, as we said about the diabetes with insulin, as heart failure, kidney failure, all these. 20 hours of fasting, it will harm them. Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah reward you, all of you. May Allah reward everyone who is responsible for this masjid. May Allah reward you always. And the beautiful, last time, alhamdulillah, she sent us a beautiful recording. And don't forget to pray for me, and I'll pray for you as a traveler. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us always meet in the best place in dunya and akhirah. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Subhanallah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah. Subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. Subhanallah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah. Subhanallah.